G'day everybody, and today we're going to have a full tour of my Pokemon town I've built here, and it comes packed with full interiors as well. So the idea behind this is I've always been a Pokemon fan, and being in my 20s means that I grew up with the very, very first Pokemon games that came out, and that old Game Boy, the black and white one. Um, starting from Pokemon Red, Blue, then Yellow, those were, the first gen games. And as you can see with this town, that's what it's modeled after. That's why everything's, nice and simple. All the buildings are just, these plain block shapes. And that house there's that, that generic house shape you see. And the gym's the generic gym shape you see in the first gen games. And all the colors as well are taken out of sort of the very first Pokemon games that had color, like Pokemon Gold and Silver and that. And yeah, just being a Pokemon fan pretty much all my life, this is something I've definitely wanted to build. And also being a Lego fan all my life as well, put those two things together and we've got this nice little town here. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, so let's get this tour of my Pokemon town underway. To begin this little tour, I'm going to start with the Pokemart, which is one of my favourite parts of the town, and definitely one of the funnest bits to make as well. I'm going to sort of just rotate this here so it makes a little more sense and we can have a better look at the details in here. As you can see, it's just nice and small, based on the first gen, nice and cozy, but, it's got everything you need. Start with the store clerk here. The blue pants and the sort of orangey overalls up top there and the light blue shirt with the glasses and the brown wavy hair. Sort of designed after the, the store clerks you see in the first gen games, but one of the first ones you see in the Pokemon Color game. And if you look back here in these glass case looking things, you'll see Pokeballs. It's not really made clear what they are in the game, but I'm pretty sure they are Pokeballs. And that definitely makes sense to keep them in glass cases too. And if you look back here in this fridge, you'll see Super Potions, and Max Potions as well. And open these little doors here so you can get a better look. And the shelf at the front there's just got a whole bunch of, random colours, not too random. I tried to make them all similar, make them similar to the game as well. And if you see the floor design there, the sort of square pattern with the lines going through it, the white and blue, also based off the first gen games that had colour as well. And so that sort of ends the tour of the Pokemart. Definitely one of the best little bits in this creation, nice and detailed, and I hope you like the Pokemart, and we'll move on. Alright, now let's get into the Pokemon Center. We'll start with this guy here, who's kind of just always sitting in every Pokemon Center and just chilling. And he's the kind of the detective looking creepy guy that always stands by the pot plant no matter which Poke Center you go to. But as you can see, it's definitely not creepy at all. Well, not in my town, that is. Kind of a very happy-go-lucky kind of guy. Got the detective suit there as well. And here's Nurse Joy. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really look like a bit dodgy, but got the pink hair and the pink skirt kind of pieces going there. And with the pieces I had, it was kind of the best I could really do for Nurse Joy. So hopefully your imagination makes up the rest of that. And here we've got the PC where you withdraw and deposit Pokemon from. Very simple design. Get a little close look at that. And here we've got the, that healing bay. Got a compass piece there, which I got recently from a minifig in the latest minifig series. There's tubes there, and area where you put your Pokeballs, and that kind of like a loading bar tile, which I thought made sense. And yeah, so that concludes the the Pokemon Center tour. Very small, very basic, almost kind of too basic, and in the future I definitely want to do a bigger Pokemon Center, and one that's modeled after the newer gen games like Pokemon X and Pokemon Gold and that, so, Pokemon Sun, yep, that's the one. So stay tuned for those in the future, I'll definitely be making a big one of those. Okay, so now we've made it to the Pokemon Gym, and this is a fighting type gym. And there's a little mural there that you can look at when you walk in that has the information of the gym leader and sort of who's won badges, and the two sort of like lesser sort of gym members that you have to battle on the way to the gym leader, or the apprentices, so you could, as you could say. A couple more little things back here, all from Ninjago sets mostly, the Japanese writing there. And here's the gym leader, supposedly. I tried to choose like an older looking Ninjago figurine with the grey hair there. And the tiling there, sort of like that colour of a Japanese dojo kind of look. And here we've got a Hitmonchan. A little dodgy looking, but I think the colours are all there. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a face, and I'm not even going to get into the that exactly. But, I think the colours are there, the right size. Now let's might as well look at the other parts of the town here too. Got a kind of a businesswoman here walking an Umbreon, pretty close, black cat there. We've got a Lego Pokemon guy playing Pokemon Go, sort of running there to get the nearest Pokemon. Unless you see something rare, maybe like a Dragonite or something like that. Just some guy chilling on a bench here, having a nap. Officer Jenny here. Unfortunately, didn't have a skirt for her. But, it's got the hat and the bat, and you're going to have to imagine that's a Growlithe, yeah. Other people around here. Got like a Voltorb, this guy just sort of running around town, running errands here. With that, that gangster-looking hat there. And we've got this trainer here with an Oddish there, just a blue head with a little plant tip. Got an Eevee design here. Yeah. Got the colours right there. Unfortunately, doesn't look as fluffy as an Eevee. And obviously, owned by, crazy cat lady there with the cat sweater. We've got this sort of wildlife looking lady here, and she's got a Bulbasaur there. Again, these are Lego figurines. They're, very small scale. Hard to make them look the exact way they do when you don't get too many pieces, or else, they end up being a little too big. But as long as you get the colours there. And, the town map here as well. And unfortunately, very shameful of me to add a Nanoblox Charizard in, but, just really want to give the Pokemon Town that real Pokemon look. And the Nanoblox definitely helped on this occasion. And the trainer here, like this badass chick there with the red Ninjago outfit, apparently is the Charizard owner. Got the idea from that Charizard girl in the anime early on. That kind of battles Ash to where Ash leaves his Charizard with her and her Charizard, something like that. And the generic house there that every town sort of has. We'll get into that a bit later on. And we've got two kind of like adventurous looking dudes here, kind of like mountain hiker looking guys, sort of coming back from like a long Pokemon trip. And we'll go around the corner here to have a closer look at what's going on here. Okay, so now we make our way to the right side of the town here, and just the right side of the Pokemart, and another entrance into the town where you see this Snorlax is blocking the way. And that garbage bin there is actually straight from the Lego Simpsons Quickie Mart set. And that's definitely probably the best set I've ever had, and the most fun to put together. So many details, and yeah, definitely one of my favourite sets ever. And if you've got the money to buy it, I'd say definitely buy it now, because it's going to be very, very expensive in a few years. And get a close-up of the Snorlax here. I know Snorlax is more like a royal blue kind of colour, but I didn't really have that colour, so I just gave it a black finish around the edges there. And it looks pretty nice, pretty accurate, I think, because of the scale. I was able to add so many pieces to it, and it really just gave it the proper shape that it needed. And there's a scale there's probably about 9 foot tall compared to the figurine. And he's not very happy there that Snorlax is sort of blocking the way. It's going to need that magical flute, I think. Okay, so now we're at the leftmost part of the town if you're looking at it from the front of the Pokemon Town. And here we've got a Dratini, sort of its head just popping out of the water there. Unfortunately, I didn't have a blue dome piece to really smoothen out the top of the head, so it kind of looks like it has like a cake on top of its head. And another shameless, Nanoblox Lapras, but, I really just want to give it that Pokemon Town feel. And we've got like a researcher here who's, very excited about the rare spotting of a Lapras. Got that camera there, and that kind of like the jungle-looking researcher kind of outfit. And we've got the old fisherman guy here catching a Magikarp, supposedly. And we've got that beanie there. I think it's an old pilot minifig I got from one series a couple of years back. Yeah. And he's not really interested in Lapras at all, apparently. He sees one every day of the week, so he's just, continuing his fishing. And these are kind of like the blockers that stop you from going to the next sort of point in the game, or sort of stop you from going to places you shouldn't get to so early, and places you can't actually access at all. Sort of got that piece there that looks like kind of like that curved domey wooden log thingy bob that pops out of the ground. And got that sort of the wooden bridge drawing out to like another part of the town, just to sort of give it that feel that, that's not where the town ends, and it kind of just keeps going and going. Around the corner here, these pieces there, sort of like, edge of a canyon. Once again, like the bridge, it's just sort of meant to make it seem like the town just keeps going on. And we've got these little Diglets here, only 3 pieces. As you can imagine, I tried to keep them as small as possible. Any bigger than that, and they'd look kind of like giant, Diglets. And here we've got those, those Pokeball item things you can get to. you know, give you usually give you, you know, something rare, and it's always sort of blocked off, as you can see with those blockers there, which was really annoying, which really sucked back then, because you knew that if you were, you know, to get them early on, there'd be like rare candies or like, you know, a HM move or something like that. You know, the game always has to be blocked off nice and early just to kind of like annoy you in that. If only you could sort of get your character back then and sort of just, you know, jump right over these blockers like this, you know, get like every item in the game nice and early. But I guess I don't want to make things too easy. The sort of that generic house you see in like every town, or the generic house design. We can have a look in here. The frame comes straight off like the other ones. Oh, apparently it's just fallen over. Now, you know, I've just got, you know, basically all the basic stuff you see in, you know, well, not all the houses are the same. I sort of modeled this after one house I saw in Cerulean City. Got the bookshelf there, you know, just a table, a little computer chair there, and the PC on the table there, and a little book there. And we can get a look here at the chair design. It's meant to be, you know, a blocky kind of officey looking chair, and the tiles there, the design sort of tan and the light tan going across in a sort of straight stripy pattern, kind of the way it looks in the game as well. And finally, we've arrived at the Pokemon Lego designs. Oh, and before anyone tells me that Sayu has 5 different points, I already know that. For some reason, I just couldn't fit one more on without it looking really awkward. So, now, with the smaller Lego figurines, or the Pokemon designs that is, it was very tricky to make them look the exact way they did with the limited amount of pieces you had. I mean, you could use more pieces, but the more and more pieces you add, the bigger they get in relation to other minifigs. They're just a little bit too big. But I think as long as you get the colours right, then that's probably the most important part. And if it sort of just looks like it shape-wise, then the colours will definitely make up for it. And, you know, you and most people will be able to guess what it is. And the Snorlax definitely the easiest one to make look like the way it does in the anime and in the game, because it has something like 60 to 70 plus pieces in it, and you know, with that amount of pieces you can kind of get all the right curves and all the right bumps in the right places and that. And that sort of, yeah, that concludes the Lego Pokemon designs, and I definitely hope you guys enjoy those ones too. Well, I guess that's it, guys and girls, and if you've stayed this whole time, you know, I want to give you a big pat on the back, and thank you for, you know, spending your time and watching this. And I hopefully, you know, it's everything you wanted in a Pokemon set. And, you know, just on the topic, you know, I reckon it'd be absolutely epic if, you know, Pokemon ever got involved with Lego. But from what I know, I think any company trying to get involved with Lego or with Pokemon have difficulties because they're quite exclusive from what I know. But, you know, for now we can just sort of dream about a Lego set. And if Pokemon ever did sort of, you know, team up with Lego to make Lego sets, I'd probably go broke buying like every single set. That would be just absolutely amazing. So what I'm doing here is I'm just sort of showing you the playability of the set here. Like, because you can take every single frame off every building. You know, if you're a younger fan of Lego, the one that, you know, the younger generation, and you actually, you know, like playing around with the Lego figurines and that, you know, this set has like maximum playability. You know, just take off all those frames and you don't have to sort of stick your hand through the little doorway or, you know, the roof of the building. You can just sort of go straight in through the walls. And as for myself, you know, being an adult fan of Lego, I don't exactly play with Lego. I sort of just make models and display them. And, you know, with this creation too, you can put the frame straight back on, and it's as easy as that. And just have it for display purposes. So, you know, once again, I want to thank all of you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed this Lego Pokemon town of mine. And I'll definitely be making more things very, very shortly, and stay tuned for those.